So 3 days ago, actually, I got stuck in our driveway and had to tow my Suburban out with a tractor. That was 3 days ago. 3 days later, today, there's rock covering currently 2/3 of my driveway and several piles of rock that are lying out to finish the driveway. This was one of those jobs on our property that very time consuming, very costly, and there were many times we had to take money that we had set aside for this project and use it for something else that was more important at the time. Because when you move onto a homestead that has absolutely nothing, there is a lot of things that come up that you weren't necessarily expecting. So there's been time and time again that my husband and I have set aside money to do the rock in our driveway and then had to use it for something else that required immediate attention. And I remember talking to my husband many times about some of the projects that we had to do that are much larger, like this driveway, and kind of wondering, how is it all going to get done? And, I don't try to dwell on the hows, because I know over time, all things will get taken care of. So over time, this will all get taken care of. But there's just not expected it this way. This rock that I'm walking on right now was bought and delivered and laid by friends of ours. We didn't put a penny into this. This wasn't anything that we even knew was happening. I actually was brushing my youngest daughter's hair today and saw a dump truck in my driveway. And called my husband and asked him if our neighbor, who also has a dump truck, was dropping off dirt or something into our driveway for us, because part of our driveway was still very wet from the last snow. And he said, nope, I haven't talked to our neighbor at all about that. So I come out here and come to find out it's some friends of ours. And they knew that this needed to be done. And they have the time and obviously everything else that's needed to go into this, the skills and whatnot. Well, technically, quite frankly, they probably don't really have the time because they're incredibly busy people, but they made the time to do this. And so I literally started crying, hugged my friends, thanked them profusely, and was just completely dumbfounded by how Yah works. Which Yah and God, same thing. There's been so many times that I've thought, how are we going to do this? How are we going to start a homestead from nothing? How are we going to do the things that we are feeling called to do by God, that require more than what we have? And see, there's another pile of rock. And I've wondered, how are we going to do this stuff? And then I realized, through God. God called us here to Oklahoma. God called us to this property. God gave us this property. And He has provided for us time and time again. This bridge you actually see here does need, obviously, some cleanup. But this bridge itself, 90% of this bridge was actually provided by our neighbor, who gave us some timbers that he was using to build a log cabin that he no longer needed. And so he gave us some serious, can't really see it, but right here, right there, those are timbers for a log cabin. And so even this bridge itself was built predominantly by stuff that people gave us. Time and time again, God has provided for us. And He's provided a way for us to do the things we need to do. And yes, we absolutely work with Him. I mean, there's been plenty of money that we ourselves have put into this property, and time and effort and work and energy and everything else. We've still done the stuff. But at the same time, Yah has just shown up, and it's just absolutely insane. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm walking in the sun, so you can kind of see today they stopped the work right about there. But they'll pick back up, I'm guessing, maybe tomorrow or something like that. Yeah. this is one of those things where when you feel overwhelmed by things that you still have to do, when you feel unsure as to how you're going to get things done, remember that if you are walking with God, if you are doing what He is calling you to do, it doesn't matter how big or how small the things are that you need to do to get done. If you're doing what He is wanting you to do, then they will get done. They will get done in whatever way, whatever time period, however He deems necessary. And in moments like this, where it is a 1/4 mile long driveway, 1/4 mile, guys, that's a long driveway, 440 yards, and it is being done by people who are basically like our family, but our friends, because Yah put it on their heart to do so. This isn't something we ever asked anybody to do. We never in a million years would have expected anybody to do this for us. We are humbled. We are blessed. At times, I don't feel worthy of this. Like, I'm still talking to y'all right now, and I still can't believe that God did this for us. I mean, I can. He's God. He's capable of doing anything and everything. But for Him to see us worthy of doing something like this, that's completely different. And that's something that I'm still wrapping my head around. But guys, when you doing this kind of stuff, moving out 1,100 miles away from family, and not really knowing what's in store for you, but we knew that God was calling us here. And I know there's been so many people on this channel that have said things like that to me as well. Made comments or messaged me or whatever, and said they feel the same calling. This is proof that when that calling is placed on your heart by God, and you don't know how any of it's going to happen, this is how. Him and Him alone. He will provide whatever you need when you actually need it, and however He may feel necessary to provide it. And that is just an absolutely beautiful thing. Like I said, I'm overwhelmed, guys. I'm honored and blessed and humbled and everything else. And I just want you all to know that this is, something that's not only for us. This is something that anybody can have and attain, and things like that, where these blessings come to you, and whatever, in whatever fashion you may need them. But walk with God, y'all. This is, if you are aligned with Him and don't say, God, I want to do this, I want to do that. Ask Him what He wants you to do. And there's definitely things that my husband and I, we want to do, but we always say, God, do you want us to do that? Or do you want us to do something else? And He guides us and shows us. So ask God what He wants you to do. And when you're walking in that way, and His choices for you, it's a beautiful thing, y'all. I've never been more happy or more humbled by several dump trucks full of rocks. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you all today. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.